Hey, good morning. What's going on, y'all? Early morning here on the north side. Hope you kings and queens are having a blessed and prosperous week so far. Hope you had a great Easter. Got to eat some good food and spend time with family, all that good stuff. So I want to share with you this morning um a revelation that has been placed in my spirit, and a dream that I've had for quite some time that I've been led to share with you now. So this is based on the principles of Ezekiel chapter 3 verses 4 through 9. And so basically, in essence, like, you've been hidden in plain sight. And so before I get started, Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be accepted in thy sight. Okay, now that we done that, let's get started. So you've been hidden in plain sight to do the work of God. You were in the world, but you basically have adaptability. You know how to govern yourself. You know how to be diplomatic, how to talk to people, how to engage with different social groups of people. And because of this, you have perceived high value, and you could go into different places where most people are not welcome because of your heart, your energy, and the way that you carry yourself. People can easily trust you. So don't manipulate that. Don't take advantage of that the wrong way, but use it in a positive way. So let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3, verses 4 through 9. It says, Then he said, Son of man, go to the people of Israel and give them my messages. I am not sending you to a foreign people whose language you cannot understand. No, I am not sending you to people with strange and difficult speech. If I did, they would listen, but the people of Israel won't listen to you any more than they listen to me. For the whole lot of them are hard-hearted and stubborn. But look, I have made you as obstinate and hard-hearted as they are. I have made your forehead as hard as the hardest rock. So don't be afraid of them or fear their angry looks, even though they are rebels. So you understand what he's saying? Like, basically, you've been chosen, you've been marked by God a long time ago to do this work. But because of the experiences you have, the outlook you have on life, your challenges and your victories and what you've gone through, your different experiences, it makes you unique. And some of you have different looks, like your hair color, tattoos, like all these things make people let their guard around you because they feel like you're the type not to judge, because it's like, who, you're like, you're considering yourself like, who am I to judge anybody? Like, I was once there at one point, and you don't think you're better than people. So this is what gives you validity and credibility that a lot of prideful, like judgmental, self-righteous people don't have. Like, they don't have that credibility because they don't have the humility to see another man and woman as, hey, that could be me. Like, you ever notice, like, sometimes in your spiritual walk, you may be early on and like, we have this tendency. I know I had this tendency early on to have this, like, self-righteous spirit, judgmental, like, Bible thumping. And then as I went through life, I was just like, that's not how it goes. Like, you don't just, like, throw the Bible at people aimlessly without having conversations with them or trying to meet people where they are. You understand what I'm saying? And so you have to have that humility to really view another man and woman who's going through something challenging and realize that you're no better than them, they're no better than you. All of us have strengths and weaknesses. You understand what I'm saying? And for that reason, we have different challenges and different victories because of our purpose. You have to understand the things that you're going through, it's not just for you. Like, some people are going to get delivered just on your story alone. Sorry, the lights went out. Some people are going to get delivered on your story alone. Like, the challenges and battles that you face, you have to realize it's not even for you. Like, it's for someone else to get victory and deliverance. Okay, with that being said, Now I'm gonna get into the prophetic revelation part. And when I say prophecy, I use that term loosely because honestly, with this gift, we have a habit of like trying to label everything as prophecy. There's seers, there's prophets, there's dreamers of dreams. And to be honest, I'm still trying to navigate that myself. Like, I understand I have certain spiritual gifts and abilities. And because I'm trying to use it the right way, that's why I'm using delayed gratification. I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting in my own way and doing things out of my own will. That's why things are so sporadic. That's why sometimes I post, and that's why sometimes I don't post. You don't hear from me for a while, because I'm spending time with God trying to, get things in alignment. So anyways, with that being said, there was a man, and he was at a black party in a big city, like something like it could have been like a black party in New York City somewhere like Brooklyn or Queens. And he was there with his family and everybody that he grew up with, but he was just bored with the activities that was going on. It was just like everybody was doing the same thing, just kind of eating, cooling out, smoking, drinking, playing cards, dominoes, and he was just kind of bored. He wanted to do something different. And this was a young man. And so he went out from amongst the crowd and he started going the opposite way, opposite direction. And there were a group of men that followed him. You understand what I'm saying? This is basically like a modern day story of Jesus. So a group of men followed him, and they went into a distant land and started preaching the gospel. They went into other parts of the community. They started locally, and they started to do things and, conduct different things, teach people about, Christianity, God, all these different things. And it came to a point where they were being so effective that, powerful people were trying to stop them. So they would send the police to scatter them when they were in the streets, like ministering to homeless people and doing things like feeding the community and giving them clothes. And it got to the point where it was so bad, like they were doing this, their works while there was this big parade going on. They had this big event that was like a few blocks away, where they were feeding the homeless and giving them clothes. And the police came to break it up that time, right? And so this time they ran and they had to scatter themselves amongst the parade and act like they were part of the parade to get away from the police. The police sent the K9 units in, and, they were just kind of on the run. And as they were on the run, you know what happened? The ground wasn't actually ground that was like dirt or asphalt. It was like serpents. They were treading amongst serpents. They were doing God's work, stomping all over the serpents in the process. And you got to understand what I'm saying. Like, some of you are called to do so many great things, and you are going to eradicate some serpents. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to rub some people the wrong way. You are not some people's cup of tea just because you stand in truth and authenticity. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with some people just ain't gonna like you. But you have to understand just the minimal amount of haters that we have. Like, in all honesty, we give haters, evil people, the devil, or we make them like big and bad, and they're really not. Because you ever notice like how evil people, they just act cowardly. Like, they always try to make themselves appear bigger and tougher and stronger than what they actually are. They can never face you one-on-one. There always has to be two or more because they're weak. They're cowards. And so what I'm saying to you is, bro, there's no reason to be afraid. Walk in that purpose, that calling that God has been placing in your dreams. And I know he's placing in your dreams because he did it to me a long time ago, bro. And I was like Jonah, bro. I ran. I got swallowed into the belly of the beast several times until I just got to the point like, bro, I'm just going to do what God called me to do. And I don't care what anybody else thinks, because I don't need to keep going around this mountain just wasting time. You know what I'm saying? When I could be really making an impact on the world. And the minute I got out of my own way and lost that fear, bro, like, I really started to have freedom. Now, granted, I still have pressure. Like, I still have a little chip on my shoulder. I still got some things I'm working on, certain complexes I have. But to be honest, like being underrated, underappreciated, being an underdog, people overlooking me, like that's been my secret weapon in my arsenal. The fact that a lot of people contest what I do. A lot of people purposely withhold their support in what I'm doing in hopes that I'm a quit. But it's actually worked to my advantage because I've come to the point where I don't need much or any validation or approval to do what I know I need to do. And that's what I'm saying to some of you all. Some of us, we have to stop telling people what we're going to do. Move in silence. Just do it and let people see it when it come out. Now, granted, we need feedback sometimes before we start to do things just to see if that's what we're good at. But you have to get to a certain point when you believe in yourself and you don't have to gain everybody's approval to walk in your purpose, man. Some of us, that's the very reason why we get stuck. We go and tell everybody our dreams and visions, and everybody's not in alignment. And it's not because they're bad people or they're jealous or haters. Like, don't think of it that way. But everybody can't see what you see here, and everybody can't see what God is showing you. And so you have to be bold enough. You have to be fearless enough to walk alone. I know it sounds crazy, bro, because we're social beings. We're wired to be together. But sometimes in those times when we're alone, when those greatest ideas, we're impregnated with them ideas, bro. I'm telling you from my own experience, like sometimes when you just get in that solitude, you can meditate. And even for a few days every month, just a few days every week, you just take some time, put that phone on Do Not Disturb, turn the email notifications off, turn the ringer off, unplug the phone, whatever you need to do. Like, you gotta realize a lot of us, until we start pulling some of our energy back and start focusing on the things we need to do, we're not gonna make progress. And I understand the need to help other people. But you also have to understand you gotta help yourself. You sitting here trying to play Superman, Superwoman, and help everybody else, and you can't even save yourself. What type of sense does that make? And I'm only telling you things that I've been through and I'm going through myself. Like, bro, you got to think about yourself first. If you're not okay, how are you going to help her? How are you going to help him? And what I'm saying to you is, excuse me, I'm getting over this little whatever that's going around, a little bug. But what I'm saying to you is, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to realize some of the greatest things in life come with walking in it afraid. That relationship you want, that job, that career that you want, that house that you want, you know, that purpose that you want to wake up every day and be happy that you're going into that organization. That sometimes some of us may have to move. Some of us may just have to move from that immediate area we're in and go to a different side of town. And I'm only telling you what I've experienced myself. Like, sometimes we just outgrow certain things, certain mindsets, certain perspectives. And we can't blame our parents. We can't blame the former generation. They were just teaching us what they were taught. But one thing I've learned in life is, don't block your blessings. And what I'm saying by this is, I learned this through music. And read between the lines what I'm saying. I learned through music that soul has no color. Like, R&B and soul and jazz and like gospel, reggae, those are mostly the genres that I was doing for a long time, along with hip hop. But it was like kind of like a fusion with all those different genres. And by collaborating with a lot of musicians, I learned that, bruh, soul has no color. Like, it's people from Venezuela, Indonesia, Japan, Morocco, Belgium, Ukraine, London, UK, Argentina, Mexico. And all these people were into the same type of music and vibes I was in. And I was so taken aback, like, bruh, like, and what I'm saying to you is, like, sometimes the blessings that you want don't come wrapped in the packages that you expect. Some of us are missing out on the loves of our life, that big opportunity, because it's coming in a different package than we expected. You know, like, you have to be okay with being around people that are different than you. I'm saying, like, all the things they use to separate us is what we need to use to unite each other. Skin color, tax bracket, where you grew up, your zip code, you know, your denomination, your religion, what religion you started off with, what part of the world you were born in. You gotta realize, excuse my French, parlez-vous French, but that shit is bullshit. And I learned through life, you gotta look at the content of people's heart. It don't matter what they look like. Someone could look like $1 million and they could just be trash. Their soul could be trash. And then somebody could look like they're wearing tattered rags and be like an angel walking on earth, literally, and have a heart full of gold. So I'm saying, like, looks can be very deceiving, and don't miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime, because the blessing, the calling, the anointing on your life is not what you expected. And guess what? It's not about what you want. It's not about you. I'm telling you, man, once you get outside of yourself, you get outside that pride and ego, you're going to save yourself so much heartache and pain. But some of us, like I did, unfortunately, we have to be humbled by life. We have to go through situations that make us, quote unquote, sit our ass down and get our stuff together, you know? So I know this is hard to swallow. This is a heavy word, and it's a heaviness. It's a heaviness when you carry the anointing, when you have a certain mark on you and you don't understand it. You try and navigate it. You try and see if other people experiencing the same thing. I've been there, and I'm still there. But growth is a process, and as my uncle George would tell me, bro, Rome wasn't built in one day. It's brick by brick. Take your time. We're not in a rush, man. It's really a marathon. Just keep going every day. Punch that clock. In 6 months, watch where you at with that consistency. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Stay encouraged. And one of the hardest things I realize in life is that people that care about us most, sometimes they'll chastise us. Sometimes they'll correct us. And usually if somebody won't take the time to correct you and tell you when you're, you know, bull jiving and messing up, they probably don't care. But if someone takes their time out the day to correct us, it's because they could see us doing something that's messing us up. And what I'm saying is, you have to be teachable. You have to be a student before you're a teacher. You got to be a servant before you're a master. We got to get all that stuff straight. Like, you don't start off at the top, bro. You don't start off at the top, sis. Don't let social media lie to y'all, man. Like, a lot of this stuff ain't real. You got to work. You got to start at the bottom, literally in the mailroom, and work your way up to the CFO's office. That's how life is. Things aren't just handed to you. You got to work blood, sweat, and tears. Sometimes for years, for months, for anybody to take notice. But guess what? Even when you think people ain't watching, they watching. They watching how you handle those situations. They watching how you handle stuff even when you having a bad day, and how you still hold it together. So hold it down. Stay encouraged. I love y'all. Peace. Have a blessed day.